He's like, it's actually good. Bro, he's, Bilmiyorum. Oh, Murat sipariş ediyor. Bro, he said it's good for you. Dude, I swear to God, he's on the side of the virus. Let's get started.
The pediatrician, when he's 2 years old, he sees all the milestones, and they get the shot. That night, they have a fever 103, then they go into seizures, 3 months later their brains. And yet they try to say they are Holocaust deniers. This is a Holocaust. But this is really
Yeah. This is the Holocaust that's happening is caused by our children getting f***ing vaccinated, dude. Weren't there cases of SSRIs being overprescribed? I love doing this. I love this f***ing song and dance, okay? Every single damn time, no matter what, okay? Oh, SSRIs are being overprescribed in certain instances. Okay, let's f***ing eliminate them. Like, what are you talking about, dude? It's like talking about f***ing opiates, right? Yeah, we had a serious problem with regulation and overprescribing opiates, okay? That doesn't mean we're eliminating opiates. There's still an insane amount of medical use and necessity for opiates. Like, that's what's so frustrating about this conversation.
And tens of millions around the world where we're selling it and poisoning people all over Africa and Asia and these countries all over the world. And it is a Holocaust.
Yeah, why are they not autistic, bro? What's happening? We're vaccinating all over Africa, not getting the autism vaccine, I guess. Are we giving the good vax to the African continent? Is that what's happening?
If your kids were young now, would you give them the measles, the mumps vaccine?
No. Right away, RFK is saying he wouldn't vaccinate his kids for measles. He's against the MMR vaccine. But how does that hold up against his previous statements?
17 years, I'm not anti-vaccine.
You're not anti-vaccine. You say you vaccinate your own children.
I had all my children vaccinated. I was fully vaccinated. I'm pro-vaccine. I've never said anything anti-vaccine. I have never been anti-vax. I have never told the public avoid vaccination.
But in a
Yeah, he also literally said COVID was a bioweapon created by Ashkenazi Jews and the Chinese. That man is now in charge of all medicine in this country.
In a 2021 podcast for Health Freedom for Humanity, RFK did just that.
I see somebody on a hiking trail with carrying a little baby, and I say to them, better not get them vaccinated. And he heard that from me. If he hears it from 10 other people.
Yeah, he's fighting the good fight, dude. He's going on hikes and informing people not to get vaccinated. Good stuff.
People, maybe he won't do it. You know, maybe he will save that child.
We created an entire generation with all these allergies by giving them these early vaccines. I have always been fiercely pro-vaccine. I had all 6 of my children vaccinated, and I believe that we ought to have policies that encourage full vaccination for all Americans.
You said, quote, there's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Why is no one, including libs, calling him anti-Semitic? I wonder. Maybe it's because he's insanely pro-Israel.
Do you still believe that?
I never said that. There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Okay, starting off with some inconsistencies, let's see what he has to say about measles.
I got measles, mumps, when I was a kid. It was...
Lots of people used to die from those diseases.
Well, you know what? They died in the 1900s, or early 1900s. There were about 10,000 Americans a year who died. In 1964, there was about 300 or 400 who died.
Pre-vaccination, each year in the United States, measles led to 400 to 5...
So people can't change their mind? Brother, that's crazy. You think that bitch changed his mind? What are you talking about? He spent his entire life, the better part of his life, advocating against vaccines. And then in front of Congress, all of a sudden, when he's about to be fucking appointed to a position where he has control, regulatory oversight over vaccines, like, I've never said I'm anti-vaccine. That's just called lying, you fuck. Why are you guys like this? Why did I even take that seriously? God, that person is like very obviously in... That person is either A, trolling because they're so brilliant, okay? And this is the most intelligent way that you can troll. Or B, agrees with RFK Jr. and is doing the same thing he was doing.
500 deaths, 48,000 hospitalizations, and 1,000 cases of encephalitis, which is swelling of the brain. 25% of the people who survive measles-related encephalitis will suffer permanent neurological damage. And this is before talking about other complications like ear infections, which occur in about 1 of every 10 children with measles and can result in permanent hearing loss. Prior to vaccination, the measles virus accounted for 5 to 10% of cases of profound hearing loss in the United States. As many as 1 out of every 20 children with measles get pneumonia, the most common cause of death from measles in young children. There's SSPE, which is a devastating measles complication that affects 1 in 609 infants who acquire measles, and it happens years after infection and is almost always fatal.
In 1964, there was about 300 or 400 who died, and they were almost all malnourished kids, mainly from the Mississippi Delta. This was before the poverty program, so there was a lot of starving children in our country.
Most of the measles deaths in 1964 were not children from the Mississippi Delta.
It's very, very hard to kill a healthy child with any infectious disease, but particularly with measles.
The 1991 measles outbreak in Philadelphia killed 9 children. They were not unhealthy or malnourished, they were unvaccinated. In 1962, 1 year before the first measles vaccine, author Roald Dahl's healthy 7-year-old daughter died from encephalitis from a measles infection. The measles death rate has always been about 1 in 1,000. In the last big U.S. outbreaks between 89 and 92, there were 57,859 cases of measles during this time and 127 deaths, working out to almost exactly 2 deaths per 1,000 cases of measles. If we look at Europe in 2017, around 1 death per 1,200 cases in Italy and 1 death per 400 cases throughout the European Union. Europe in 2018-19, over 100,000 cases and 90 deaths in 47 of 53 countries. From 2000 to 2017, we saw an 80% decrease in global measles deaths thanks to vaccination. In the years following the licensure of the vaccine in 1963, the incidence of measles decreased by more than 95% in the United States. As for the risks of the disease versus the vaccine, there really is no contest.
The World Health Organization now says vitamin A is an absolute cure for me.
The WHO has never said that vitamin A is a cure for measles. In fact, they say there is no treatment or specific antiviral therapy for measles. But vitamin A supplements should be given to children with measles as it can help prevent eye damage, blindness, and/or death.
Every single kid got it, and I had 11 brothers and sisters, and we all got it, and we were all fine.
Survivorship bias is the logical error of concentrating on entities that passed the selection process while overlooking those that did not.
And there are lots and lots of studies out there now that show that kids who get measles as a child are much healthier when they grow up.
While there's no evidence to this claim, we do know that measles can cause immune amnesia, where measles can weaken immunity.
He's like, it's actually good. Bro, he's, Bilmiyorum. Oh, Murat sipariş ediyor. Bro, he said it's good for you. Dude, I swear to God, he's on the side of the virus, dude. These people are literally like, you know, oh, we're going to war with COVID, on the side of COVID. Like, you know, that was a meme. I think these people are quite literally on the side of the virus. The worm feeds on the virus. He's paid by Big Measles. Yo, this is crazy. What is going on, man? This is like these are some of the greatest inventions, okay? Modern medicine is one of the best things. Like, I can't speak positively enough about modern medicine, okay? What the f is happening? How the hell do people develop these opinions? I just don't understand. Like what the fuck? RFK Jr. is literally pestilence. Yo. It kind of, like, when I listen to someone like RFK Jr., like, I listen to someone like Pete Hegseth, I'm like, you're a bad person, you're a monster, you're a racist, whatever. Okay? But I truly don't understand how you can be anti-medicine, dude. Like, that is above and beyond. Like, I can understand how someone could be an evil person. Okay? I can't understand how someone is just like, medicine, not for me. It's like being against, I don't know, going inside of buildings, you know? We used to live inside of caves. Nature has the greatest shelter of all. Like, I'm anti-automobile. It's like saying you just don't want to ever wear shoes. And there are motherfuckers like that out there. I don't get it. But like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's fine, dude. It's okay to drive a car. You know, it's okay to rely on automobiles from time to time. You know, it's probably good for commerce. Like, it's just, like, what are you saying? That it feels so anti-human.
Versus other infections for years after illness. And of course, if you die from measles, you don't grow up.
You went to Samoa. An outbreak resulted in 83 deaths.
The Prime Minister of Samoa stayed the measles vaccine after measles vaccines killed a number of people in Samoa, including members of his family. So when I went to Samoa, the ban was already in place.
Prior to the outbreak, Samoa had notoriously low vaccine rates, with data from the WHO and UNICEF estimating the country's national immunization coverage fell from 74% to 34% between 2017 and 2018. At the time, the country was involved in a medical scandal involving the deaths.
I don't know if there's been studies conducted on this, but I do legitimately believe a big part of, without no evidence whatsoever, woo, speculation alert, I think that a big part of the reason why Americans are so fucking anti-vax, or like have higher degrees of like anti-medicine sentiment, is directly a consequence of for-profit healthcare. Like, I suspect that countries that have socialized medicine or socialized pharmacare, like some semblance of socialization where the profit motive is at least either regulated heavily, curbed back, or eradicated entirely, do not have the same level of anti-medication and anti-vax opinions, I think. I'm sure that there's other factors involved in it, like religiosity and things of that nature, but like, I still think it's, in America, which is not a very religious nation, it's not a particularly religious country at all in comparison to others, especially. I suspect that it almost entirely stems from like the profit incentive, making people inherently mistrustful of, you know, the pharmaceutical sector and shit like that. In Britain, the only reason it dipped was Wakefield, but it's back to its high uptake. So yeah, you might be onto something. France is a bit anti-vax though. Maybe it's not explicitly religious, but it does have puritanical traits.
Of 2 Samoan infants who received improperly prepared MMR vaccines, which were administered by local nurses. Following the July 2018 deaths, the government halted its MMR immunization program until April 2019 while it investigated. In early 2019, 2 nurses were sentenced to 5 years in jail for negligently preparing the vaccines by using a muscle relaxant instead of water to reconstitute them.
And I visited people in Samoa. I didn't know there was
lack of education,
no policy that resulted from my going to Samoa.
During the time in which vax coverage was dropping in Samoa, RFK visited the nation in June 2019 to help anti-vax advocates there who had been using the death of those 2 infants to help cause the
Biden 2024. If babies die from vax, then maybe something is wrong. Winky face. Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. We're fucking cooked, dog. That's it. We're cooked. Yeah. Yeah. If is a big if here, you know? The biggest of ifs.
Drop in vax rates. He had a meeting with Taylor Winterstein, a well-known Samoan Australian anti-vax advocate. He even met with the Samoan Prime Minister to discuss his views on vaccines. In a 2021 interview with the Samoa Observer, RFK discusses the meeting with the Prime Minister and that he had personally concluded that the Prime Minister had doubts about a national immunization program after seeing what he believed was an adverse medical reaction to a vaccine. RFK
couple babies die from vaccination, or even if it's not from the vaccination, but it can happen. Okay, side effects are, or an allergic reaction can occur. Okay, that is 10 babies die from allergic reaction to the vaccine. Unacceptable. Thousands of babies die from the actual disease that the vaccine is eradicated. Totally just nature. God was calling them in. Totally fine. Couldn't do anything about it. Except you did do something about it. You eradicated this thing that is ultimately helping mankind prosper. Like what like life expectancy. Because you're better. Never do you lie or spread misinformation, Lamau. I know, you're right. I should tell you that vaccines kill a gorillion people every day. It's like a Holocaust every day. Like, what? Why do these people think like life expectancy improved dramatically in the past century? Okay, where is this? How did it happen? Is it because woke? Is it because the eradication of woke? Like what? Or is it just God decided, no, you guys can live. You guys don't have to die when you're like 3 years old any longer? The answer is modern medicine, for the record. It just is. Yeah, we got more holistic and conscientious.
He does admit that him and the Prime Minister had talked a limited amount about vaccines. He claimed the Prime Minister was curious to measure health outcomes following the natural experiment without vaccines. Samoa's choice had infuriated the global medical cartel, he wrote. These statements conflict with a later interview when pressed about his role in the Samoa measles outbreak.
I never talked to the Prime Minister of Samoa about anything to do with vaccination.
Even worse, during the outbreak.
Yeah, he also lied about that. You're actually so gay it kills me. Damn, dude. Don't fucking beat your meat that hard. That's crazy. My man is literally fucking fantasizing about me being gay and is causing him to masturbate himself out of existence. That's insane. That's a new level of fandom, dude. It's like, I'm beating my shit so hard right now. I'm about to get in the my heart's about to stop. I'm fucking stroking it, dude. I'm thinking you're gay. It'd be so sick if you were. I'm gonna fucking die. No one can stop me. R.I.P. to that guy. Another victim of of goonacide. He's gripping it. Anyway, I actually have to go. Unfortunately, I really want to watch this rest of this video, and I think I will tomorrow. But I have to go for the time being for a very good reason. I am finally doing it. I'm going on Bad Hasbara. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have fucking yelled at me so much, so consistently, nonstop. And I'm finally doing the damn thing. I'm going on Bad Hasbara right now. But for that reason, I have to end at 6 hours and 46 minutes.